Yo, what is up? I'm Zach. Welcome back to my channel of RWBY Mythology. Today I bring you guys you guys saw my community tab. Time to announce my RWBY OCs, my team of RWBY OC, Team Shadow, SADW. And these are the characters I want to introduce to you guys, and I want to go over each of the characters. And I have been wanting to create my RWBY OCs for a long time. It's just that it was pain in the ass to come up with a name based off colors and find a name that fits well and means a color or called as a color, because that's the one rule when it comes to naming your character based off color. Like, you have Ruby based off red, and you have John based off yellow, and names had to be based off color, including the team names had to be based off a color as well, which that was the difficult part. The names were the difficult part. Even the coming up with a team name was difficult for me. And then ever since now we have the AI art generator that we could create our actual OC, our original characters, since a lot of people can't draw at all. I can't draw at all. So these arts are made in AI art generators, because like I said, I can't draw worth a damn, and I like how it turns out for these characters. And these characters are based on their color, which you can see here is black, red, purple, and white. My 4 favorite colors. And for those wondering how do I come up with the name Team Shadow, well, if you guys know my original channel, my main channel, Shadow Critias, and I always liked the name Shadow so much so it clicked in. And the choosing the letters were kind of difficult. I was going to use H in there, but I was like, no, I just had to put A, so it's SADW, Team Shadow. So yeah, and I'm gonna go over each of the characters, and there's 2 humans and 2 faunas, and also I'm gonna go over them. And I don't have a backstory for them yet, but I think I could come up few things. It's just gonna be some time. That's the one that I have all time to come up with a backstory for both of them, but I just want to introduce to you guys of these characters. Until then, I just want to share my characters to you guys. So we're gonna start with the team leader of Team Shadow. The team leader of Team Shadow named Shoko Eclipse, or Eclipse, with an A at the end. So he's the team leader. He's basically based of a ninja from Japan, and I want to have a character have the last name of Eclipse, and Eclipse color is basically black, and you can see his entire outfit is pitch black or pure black, and his hair is jet black. And I like how this art has had that similar RWBY art style. And if you look at his eye, it's almost similar to how, you know, the solar eclipse closes the sun, and has that little bit of a dark yellow. I kind of like how it did that. And he's age 17, the first oldest. Another team is few of the teams are 17 and 16. I just want to clarify that. And his weapon of choice is the Eclipse, a dust blade, which you can see in the back. It's a simple long hill katana blade, and around the middle of the hilt of the sword, it has few dust in it, like fits of his combat style. You know, fire, lightning, wind, and ice. So those are the main type dust that he has in his sword. Kind of like Raven, but more not switching out blades to different type of dust. basically the middle of the sword spins and chooses any dust that he used for any type of action. And the reason why he called his sword, his katana, the Eclipse, because this sword was made by a blacksmith, and the blade was made from a meteorite. So basically, kind of inspired from Avatar: The Last Airbender, where Sokka had his own sword and his blade was made from the meteorite. So yeah, so basically he could change his blade to different elements of the dust, but his sword would not break because his blade is so strong that it can cut through metal. So yeah, and he is skillful hand-to-hand combat, and he is stealthful, and that goes to his semblance, which is basically invisible camouflage, but I call it either way. I had a hard time to come up with a name for his semblance. So he basically could go invisible by camouflage in the shadow, trees, basically anything for stealth. And the only way he could do that by using his aura to camouflage him. And it does have time limits. If he used too much or stay camouflage for so long, his aura will drain. So he has to be careful how long he used for stealth. And to become his personality wise, he's like a laid back, not like lazy and chill. No, he's more calm and collective, and have honor and have respect. Basically a loyal person, but when things get out of line or something bad about to go down or something happens to anyone that he's closest to, he will get pissed. Like, don't try to piss them off. Just better as well stay on his good side. So that's basically his personality. So that's basically it for Shoko. So let's move on to the next team member. Next is Alice Scarlet, and you guys can tell the name is actually based off red, and dark red actually. I want her to have like a darker color of red instead of just the main red. And yeah, she's kind of like almost similar to RWBY, but instead of silver eye, and have more body armor as well. And she's the age of 16. She's a human female, and she's basically the ride and die girl. Like, look out for each other, and she's the kindest and sweetest person that you ever met. And she is a skillful fighter, but she's not skillful hand-to-hand combat, but she doesn't mind get her hands dirty in a way. And her weapon of choice is Hellsing Axle. So basically her weapon is like an axe, a battle axe, but her weapon could transform into an axe, assault rifle, basically, with an axe attached to it underneath where you could shoot at. Kind of like the old school World War II veteran gun with a blade to it, but with the axe, the two-bladed axe placed together, so to speak. So yeah, and her semblance is evolved blood control. So basically she manipulates people's blood, kind of like blood bending, and manipulate people's blood in her own free will, kind of like Scarlet in a way. So yeah, so basically she's inspired both from Avatar and Mortal Kombat, and she is the deadliest fighter if you don't piss her off. She does have anger issues, but she does able to control it a lot better than Yang, honestly. But she only uses her anger when it comes to fighting, or depends on the situation at hand. But she doesn't go completely outburst where something bad things happen. But if anything happens to the people that she cares and loves, she will lose control of her semblance. So basically, blood control is difficult for her, but she had to keep it in check. So she's basically hiding her dark thoughts, her dark history to herself. Same goes for the other characters, which I'll get to those when I'm done talking about the characters. And yeah, she's interesting. I think she's the one I'm most interested in tell the story to, I think. Right next to the next one we're about to talk about. And yeah, so I got nothing else to say about her, so let's move on to the next character. The next one is Dracoon Phoenix. And this is something that is shocking to everyone. Wait, what's the name? What's the color of him? Well, like I said, purple. When I was trying to come up for the last name or find the last name that had the color name based off purple, yeah, Phoenix was the one. I'm not shitting you. When I looked up to find the color of the last name based off purple, there were a few good ones, but some that I just cannot pronounce. And the one I found was Phoenix. I did not want to choose Phoenix, but it's like the only one I could actually say it. So his last name is Phoenix, and his name Dracoon is based off dragon. He's a dragon faunus, and I'm honestly surprised there's literally no other any RWBY OCs that made a dragon faunus. And you can see from his armor, he's basically based of a samurai, so to speak. And he does have his wings, so they're able to fly. So that's the only dragon trait he's have, along with his horn, because he was born with those horns. And the one thing I can say about his backstory, I had like one that came to my mind. He's the last of his kind, the last of his race. So yeah, he's not in the right place in the dark. He's not in the right place. He's cold, harsh to everyone. He's ruthless. He's brutal. Right next to Shoko and Alice and Crystal, which we get into that. He's basically the most brutalist member of the team. And his weapon of choice is basically his claws. Drago claws. Basically, he's more of a hand-to-hand combat, but using his claws as a weapon. So basically his fingers turn to, like his entire hand turned into a flaming hand. A purple flame, basically. By using his aura, he turned his hand into a purple flame claws. So basically he's more hand-to-hand combat than just using actual sword and weapon. And he does breathe fire, like actual flame, like purple flame. That actually could kill anyone instantly, only not leaving nothing but bones, only ashes instantly. No burnt bones, not clear bones, just instantly ash. So that's where his semblance called Phoenix Flame, to breathe out fire. So that's basically his ability of what he could do. And yeah, he's brutal with good reason. So yeah, now we'll move on to the last and final member, and also his age is 16. So we're gonna move on to the last and final member of the team, Crystal Widow, the last member of the team of Team Shadow. So yes, she's, how would I put this? She's basically Black Widow in a nutshell. That's basically I had one in mind, because I want to have a character based of Black Widow, but everything in white. And she's a spider faunus. And people wonder, wait, she looks like a human than a spider. Well, than a spider faunus. Well, it's because, you know that spider faunus that we saw in RWBY, that her spider trace is based off web? Yeah, Widow has that. Shooting web. Standing just from of her wrist is actually from top of her hand. Kind of like the black symbiote Spider-Man does. So that's basically what she has. And her weapon of choice is called dual dust wielding pistol, or dust dual wielding pistol, and she names them Envy and Lust. So basically they shoot tons of light dust, fire dust, ice dust, and lightning dust. So those are the weapons of dust that she has in her disposal. And she's age 17, right next to Shoko. And she's basically the type of girl not to be fucked with. And she does tease messing with her opponent. Mostly men and women. Kind of like, basically get intel out of them by just being innocent and just being like, you know, those type of girls, like, you know, secret agents, female, like, oh, you tell me this and that, I'll show you something pleasure or something like that. She will do something like that, but regardless how old or age or really are, she will get information out of them by any means necessary. She hated it, but that's basically her trait. Kind of like Black Cat. So basically she mixes up Black Widow and Black Cat in a nutshell, teasing people to get what she wants. But she doesn't do that to her team. I mean, she kind of does, because she doesn't know them. But she doesn't steal. She doesn't do that. She's not fully Black Cat. She's more like a Black Widow. But she does tease people whenever she wants to. But when it comes to her teammates, she doesn't. And she does get flattered when someone has a crush on her. But she's not interested. So, yeah, there's that. And you pretty much could guess what I said that she does to men and women. Yeah, I will get to that later. And her semblance is, well, it's her sense. What she calls it spider sense. Because of her sense, she could shoot webs. Her semblance is to see and hear. That she calls it her spider sense and sight. But her strongest one of all is her hearing. So basically, she's based off Spider-Man, like Spider Sense, that you hear the farthest distance of where she's at towards. How should I put it? She can hear it from the farthest distance. That's how strong her Spider Sense is. So yeah, that's basically her ability. So that's basically her semblance in a nutshell. So yeah, that's basically it of the team members of Team Shadow, 2 Faunus, and 2 humans. So there you have it. Those are my team members of Team Shadow, and 2 of them are 17, and 2 of them are 16. 2 of them are humans, and 2 of them are Faunus. And both of them had their own dark story, because they felt in the shadow, and they felt outcast, loneliness, despair, and I think I said, what else did I say? Outcast, despair, loneliness, and abandoned. There you go. That's the one. So each character had their own what they gone through in their dark times of their life, and for such a young age. So if you guys wonder of their sexuality, Shoko, he's straight. Alice, she's straight. Draco, he's, well, I would say, okay, I'm just gonna say Draco, he's, not Draco, Dracoon, he's gay. And Widow, she's bi. So yeah. And so basically the main ship for this teammate is Shoko and Alice. So there's that. I was gonna have Alice and Dracoon, there you go, to be a couple. I was thinking of that. I might change my mind. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. I might change my mind of the sexuality part. I can't speak. I just didn't have like the idea of the story for the characters or anything like that. And I do plan on making like a story origin of the characters and before they arrived at Beacon Academy. And I forgot to mention where they're from, though. I'm going to say backward. Widow, she was born in Alice. Dracoon, I'm just going to call him Phoenix. Phoenix, born in Shade. Alice, born in Beacon. And Shoko was born in Haven. So yeah, there you go. They're born in 4 different kingdoms separately. So yeah, there you go. I forgot to mention that part. That was my mistake. So yeah, I will plan on thinking create their origin story soon, whenever I have the time. I just need some time to come up with. And it will be on my Wattpad page whenever I announce it in the future. So be on the lookout for that. So yeah, I don't know what I can say. All know that I'm glad I finally decided to share you guys with my RWBY OCs of team members of Team Shadow. And yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Tell me what you guys think. Which out of these team members of Team Shadow that you guys are interested and looking forward to see the most out of 4 of them. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Links to my other channels, my social media will be down below. You guys know the drill. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. RWBY is love, RWBY is life. Keep moving forward, and I'll see you guys later.